What's the stupidest thing you've done in business?
Other than this podcast.
Stupidest thing I've done in business.
I walked into that one room at the boardroom. I think that was in Seattle, and you guys had so many millions in dollars of, like, the bigger the company you work for, the slower they pay their bills. People don't understand this, right? Like you go get a contract with the U.S. government, they will pay you next decade.
Yeah.
Right? You get a contract with a guy like Ryan, he's got to pay you when you're done for the work for the day, right? I got to pay you this week. Right. And so we were talking in Seattle. I happened to walk in right there at the minute, and you're like, or your brother was like, we got all these projects going. We're making all this money. They're profitable, but we're running out of cash because I'm owed $18 million or whatever the number was. Like, that's got to be hard.
Yeah. So I think one of the stupidest things that we've done was, I'm not gonna, I would just say,
I don't have to say that.
taxes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I'll bring it back to when we were in the boardroom. We are around billionaires and other people that are doing, hundreds of millions on their businesses, and everybody's sitting there saying, oh, we didn't pay any taxes. What do you mean y'all pay a quarter on taxes? Like what the hell? So that was a big, we immediately went to go figure that out.
It was frustrating on that is it's usually when it's explained within 45 seconds. And you were like, oh, wait a, like, because Mac, our buddy Mac did this because he does, last time we talked about this, he does a lot of apartments and a lot of salon suites. So you got the depreciation, you got cash, and it just does this. And I'm like, okay, but how?
Right.
And they're like, well, I just showed you how. Like, no. You're like, you don't even
Make it make sense.
That's what it is.
But then also, a lot of times your advisor's wrong. I was on the phone with a young man yesterday that I knew from when he was in Little League football, that he's now in the NFL. And there's a couple of those from my town. And I was on the phone with him because he's big into real estate. He's been doing some private lending. And he was just asking me some questions. And we started talking about taxes, and he's like, oh, no, my CPA said that that's passive income, and I cannot offset my active income with...
You got to put the right button on the right seat.
You fire that guy.
You don't. You actually... Our coach, I said...
It's an expensive coach.
No, I said, you got to learn how to ask the right question.
Okay.
I said, because he's going to be faced with this more. I understand you're saying that is passive income or a passive loss, so I can't take it against active income. What do I need to do to qualify
That.
to do that?
I hear that.
Because then it's become a real estate professional. How? Well, you have to do 20 hours here and this and maybe an LLC. Great. I'm a smart, actionable young man. Let me go do that.
But time out. But to Austin's point, right seat.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he get that 87-year-old dude he's only got about 2 or 3 more years worth of service, who knows every trick, every hack to not pay taxes? Shouldn't that be the guy that he employs?
Because I think when you're new to money and maybe influenced by your peers and those around you, you I would imagine what happens a lot with professional athletes is they hire the advisor that the other person had, or the person that the agent told them to hire.
Right.
And I'm the whole teach a man to fish, don't fish for him. Right. So you're going to meet people that don't believe that they want to play it safe. Right. But it's the NFL. We talk about these contracts these people get. Half of it is gone. The taxes. 15, 20% to an agent. Like, these young people that play combat sports for a living, like, a lot of their money goes to pay for Medicare. Yeah. I mean, so it was just, look, there are ways to make the depreciation go against your active income, but you have to ask the questions. How? We talked about this on the podcast recently. How? So you can only get the answer in 45 seconds if you ask the question the right way, in my opinion.
But if you don't know to ask that question,
That's why you gotta hire the right person.
Exactly.
Cause from my position, right? And we're younger, so that comes with
Keep rubbing it in.
us scaling, right? So we're like constantly having those growing pains, right? Going from 5 to 10 to 100, right? That can go crazy with growing pains as far as learning how to continuously scale that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's very important to have somebody that knows what they're doing to take that advice from. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and so I guess it all does come back to asking the right questions, but also, frankly, we talked about this too. Just asking questions. Like,
right.
I ask myself this question all the time: why not? Right? Why not? Well, you can't do it that way. Why not? You can't use AI for that. Why not? You can't close a loan without a processor. You have to have a processor. Why not? Like, I think that's where innovation comes from, right? Like, and I think that's actually what makes great entrepreneurs, right? Like, why not? Like,
The ones that don't
can't
let an
build-
obstacle stop you from.
Yeah, well, there are no obstacles. There's just challenges.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, like, you can't remodel 20 Chase buildings. You're a young black man. Why not?
Why not?
Right? Like, you can't go get 9 freaking degrees. You're from New Orleans. Why not? I mean, it's like, I think that's the magic, and that's where the world is ready to tell you no at all times. And just like, you have to learn to ask, like, why not?